Yeah, we search engine for court rules. Citizens do not own their own DNA, and it came up with police can now taser you to make you give DNA or to make you answer questions. Torture. We might want to search under court rules, biotech company owns man's DNA. That should get it. Court rule. It was a California federal court. I've seen several of them over the years, but again, they get your blood and then they own it. And it goes to the UN, it goes to Cold Springs Harbor, Human Genome Project, IBM, eugenics. That's all on record. But I like to just say something here on air, and if it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I like to then try to pull it up. The problem with the internet is newer stuff in the last few years is the first 10 or 15, 20 search pages, unless you can get the headline exactly right. And my weakness is I can't remember headlines from 10 years ago, usually. Some things I've quoted so many times on air, I can remember stuff from 14 years ago. Like U.S. Code Title 50, Chapter 32, subsection 1528, paragraph B. But I can only do that without even trying to think about it. It just has to like spontaneously pop out. I'm 36 next month, and you know they say when you hit age 30, you start losing massive brain cells every day. And if you did have a photographic memory, it starts to fade with most people. And I mean, I still have a great memory, but now I can't do that hat trick I could do previously. There's a CBS. Yeah, there it is. You found it. And how many years old? That's 2009. So that's a new one, see? That's a new one. Print that for me. It says exactly what I was saying. It's hard to believe, but private companies hold the patent rights to some of the genes in your body. The companies say the patents help them develop new treatments for serious diseases. But this week, a group of cancer patients, see, I told you, 10 years ago it was cancer patients. And the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit claiming the patents put them in danger, reports CBS News correspondent. Exactly as I said from 10 years ago. And then here's some more. When you do a search, you find completely unrelated stuff. Indiana court, no warrant needed to force DNA testing. Oh, that's freedom. Defense shocked. Court rules police could taser to collect DNA samples. Brits arresting people solely to get their DNA on the suspect's database. And here it is. Can corporations own your DNA? And see, the thing is, whenever I have reporters here, I'll just rattle this stuff off at them, and they just think I'm making it up. Because I guess they can't rattle it off. They don't do this 14 hours a day. Rattle it off, rattle it off. I mean, I said exactly what it was. And there it is. But can't find the 10-year-old article. Sorry, we've got one here from CBS News that came out May 13th of 2009 last year. I briefly want to remind listeners that I am a documentary filmmaker. If you believe in what we're doing here, financially support us, plus get the most powerful videos out there, bar none. Fall of the Republic, Obama Deception, Endgame, Terror Storm, other films we carry at big discounts like Camp FEMA, proving all the FEMA camps, Shadow Government. You can now pre-order How Weed Won the West, that exposes how it's defeating the feds on states' rights and can bankrupt the big banks so we can legalize or decriminalize drugs. We're already into the final hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to continue with some calls, then I will get into these other 3 stacks of key news. We've been covering quite a bit of news here today. Proud of myself, keeping to the schedule to get out as much information as possible. Buddy in New York, how may I serve you?
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good.
I got three quick things. First thing, a guy on YouTube called Nut and Fancy. He's like a big gun guy. I think he would be a good guest to have on your show. What's going on with you guys with the gun show down in Texas? he'd be a pretty interesting guy because he reviews guns and survival gear and stuff like that. He has like a huge viewer base on YouTube, so it'd be a good way of waking a lot of people up.
Okay.
And second thing is, if Deborah Medina gets in, Texas is going to be like the new Patriot haven for people to just, flock to, man.
Well, because then it will lead other people to run for state office. But in Texas, the governors are actually weak compared to other states because under Reconstruction, they put in a bunch of puppet governors. And so the lieutenant governor is really the governor of Texas. Though the governor does have some power in their bully pulpit and their veto power. And the governors have taken more power on themselves in Texas in the last few decades. But it is going to be a great victory, buddy. I appreciate your call. Michael in California, you're on the air.
Alex.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man? I'm just calling regarding the comments that you made on the communism and stuff like that. I was listening to your show a few days ago regarding Glenn Beck's documentaries and stuff like that he's going to start doing. And I decided to look into it, and I actually watched it on Friday. And I feel like it's, it's pretty good. It was okay. It left out a lot of details, of course, but I feel like I think it's a great way to start handing out your Endgame movie at all their shows. I noticed that, I saw that they were having a tour, Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly, and they're going to hit up California where I'm at, and obviously Texas also. And I feel like it's a great way to start possibly standing outside of their shows and handing out lots of documentaries that you carry, of course. So
absolutely, Michael. I've done a lot of soul searching over Beck. I know he's betrayed us a lot, said Ron Paul's bad even last year, said the FEMA camps aren't real when he knows that's a lie. More wars are good. I mean, he's a neocon. But he is doing a lot of good on exposing the fake environmental movement, on exposing government-run health care. And if he just kept going like he was going, he wouldn't be so bad. The problem is I've seen the way he turns on people, and I know how he's taken over our movement so that they can direct it. And I just, I hate bashing other media people. I don't spend a lot of time doing it. I don't get all vitriolically happy whenever Limbaugh is caught with drugs or, in more trouble. But Glenn Beck he's dangerous. And I just want Glenn Beck to know that we're going to hold him accountable, that we're watching him, that we know what he's done, that we've chronicled and created catalogs of all of his flip-flopping and supporting the banker bailout and then saying he didn't and then saying he apologized when we pointed it out. I know he's an actor. He's a talented guy, and I wish him well. But I want him to know, obviously he's a lot better than Chris Matthews, who's openly evil. The problem is we know the Republican Party is just as bad as the Democratic Party at the leadership level. They're globalists. And so as long as Glenn Beck keeps explaining that, which he's doing more and more, that's a good thing. I tuned in a week and a half ago, and he was saying 9/11 truthers are going to kill Obama. That is just slander because he knows it's an inside job, and he's defending the military-industrial complex that staged the attacks. We're watching you, Glenn Beck. Let's know that.